Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for a massive channel announcement and the first ever Forever Sports betting preview. Forever Sports is very proud to announce that we have partnered with BetCoza, who are the official betting partners for Forever Rugby and Forever Sports for the foreseeable future, which is a massive boost for the channel and a really, really exciting partnership, which I think is going to add so much to the content we create, to the interaction we have with our users, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this partnership. So a massive shout out to BetCoza, who are sponsoring the show. They will be sponsoring and bringing to you the two watch-alongs this weekend, Lions versus Bulls, as well as South Africa versus Argentina, as well as so much more rugby in the coming weeks. As rugby season really, I feel like this weekend there's really rugby season getting underway. The URC, you've got Premiership, you've got Top 14. There's everything happening this weekend. And I think that, the URC starting again, it's a fresh new season. I think that there's far more interest in it. But what you can do, because we are going to be doing promotions for our Forever Sports audience, we are going to be giving away free bets and stuff like that, is that we encourage you to go and sign up on BetCoza right now. There's a link in the description below. Go and sign up, go and deposit some money, go and get yourself ready to put some bets down this weekend, because I said we will be trying to give away some free bets over the next few weeks. We will be doing betting segments. We'll be getting potential punters onto the show to give some advice on where there's value and stuff like that. And hopefully we can create just a lot more interaction stuff on the show. So go and get yourself sorted. As I said, link in the description below, as well as my best tip for this weekend, which we're going to go through at the end of the video, and I'll explain my thinking through it there as well. Now, before we look at the fixtures, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And it starts in Italy as Benetton take on Glasgow Warriors. Other teams, all the teams are in action this weekend, except for Sharks and the Stormers. They will not be taken to the field, but everywhere else there will be lots and lots of action. And we are starting with Benetton versus Glasgow Warriors. And I think that, for me, Glasgow Warriors very much became sort of my second team. I really enjoyed the type of rugby they tried to play. I think Benetton have made some good signings and were a decent side last weekend. But I do expect Glasgow Warriors just to start off a little bit stronger. If you look at the table, for example, last year, Glasgow Warriors ended up finishing 8th. So they were in the playoffs, whereas Benetton finished down 13th. Benetton won a total of 6 matches across the season. Glasgow Warriors won a total of 10. If you look at your BetCoza odds, Glasgow are the odds-on favourites. There is a handicap of 3.5 at stake, so I've gone with a negative 3.5 at stake. So I think that whilst I think that some of the games this weekend could be quite close, I think that Glasgow are a side that look like they can score tries, and I think they will probably win by more than tries margin. That was my gut saying, but it'll be the first game tonight in the new season, which is going to be quite cool. And then tomorrow we've got all the big teams back in action. The likes of your Leinster, your Munster, your Bulls are all playing tomorrow. You've got Zebre taking on Leinster, and it's a pretty big spread, as you'd imagine, for one side which is favoured to go and win the competition, and the other side being Zebre. So if you look at it, Zebre are actually at 13-1 to win. The handicap is 29.5 spread. So the question is, do we think that Leinster are going to start like a house on fire? I think they will. I don't see how they don't, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we're talking about a Leinster side, which, yes, did lose 5 games last season, but scored 546 points. That is 82 points more than the Stormers scored. They were the next best. Who was still in second place. The next best was Bulls with 518. You had Munster 524, Bulls at 518, Sharks at 510. So, I mean, Leinster score tries for fun. Their points difference was 270. So I do expect them to start very well, and I think, and unfortunately, Zebre, whilst they've brought in some good players, your likes of an MJ Pulsar, I think that Kobus van Wyk is a very interesting signing. I do think that Leinster will be able to get the job done there. Moving on from that, it'll then be over to Wales as Cardiff take on Munster, and I think that Munster, again, very much favoured to win that match. The odds at the moment are Cardiff at 3.05, Munster 1.35 to win. If you look at your handicaps, for example, it's a 3.5 spread. So again, I expect Munster to be able to get the job done. I don't think that it's going to be a particularly close game. I don't foresee it being as close as some sort of people think it will be. Look, I think Cardiff are a decent side, and they've made some nice signings, but it's an incredibly strong Munster side, and I expect them to start quite well. If you look at last season, Cardiff were a little bit disappointing, but they've made some good signings. But I do expect Munster to start pretty well. We have then got the URC derby, Lions taking on the Bulls, and interestingly enough, I think the Lions are actually going to do a bit better than I think some people are giving them credit for. At the moment, if you're looking at they're 3.8 to win, but the handicap is currently sitting at an 8-point spread, and I think I've actually gone with Lions for plus 8. I've got Lions plus 8 there because I think that actually this could be a low-scoring game. I think that the Lions at home have had a full preseason, which they haven't had in 2 seasons. I think defensively they've now actually had an opportunity to work with Jacques Fourier, who's actually been able to hopefully put in the defensive systems. So I've actually seen more value in going with the negative. I'm going to go with the positive handicap there rather than the negative. So I think that I actually do think the Lions might be able to make a bit of a game of it. I don't foresee them winning necessarily, but I think they could very well get in within a point. I do think the Bulls will be very good, but I'm hoping that some early season rustiness, as well as quite a few new players who might take a bit of time to get used to it, could mean that the Lions might be able to make it a bit more of a game than we would expect. You then got Scarlets taking on Ospreys, and Ospreys expecting to win that game. You're looking at your odds there. Ospreys are Scarlets rather expected to win the game there, 1.47 to win. Ospreys at 2.55. You're looking at your handicap. It's a 4.5 spread. So look, I think that's a difficult one to call. I'm not writing off Ospreys as quickly as I think some other people are. These are 2 sides that were very close last season. Scarlets being at home obviously gives them a bit of advantage, but I think Ospreys showed lots of signs that they can get a job done. So I think that's quite a close one to call. Ulster vs Connacht, an Irish derby. It's going to be quite a fun one to watch at the Kingspan Stadium. Ulster at home. If you look at the market, the odds for that game, you've got Ulster at 1.17 to win. So Connacht very much being written off by the bookies. If you look at the handicap, it's an 11.5 spread. And I think that Ulster will start pretty well. But Connacht had their moments last season. They did have their moments. They finished 11th. They did win 9 games, which is actually more than the teams that finished above them. But they're a side that scored a lot of points, they conceded a lot of points. I think, but them being able to score points was their massive issue. So, I think Ulster probably will probably get that win that probably quite comfortably. And then we're looking at Edinburgh taking on the Dragons, the final match of the weekend. Edinburgh at home, quite an unchanged side, so Dragons very much not expected to get a result there. They were the second last team last season. It was Zebre right at the bottom, then Dragons, quite a lot of gap, then Cardiff, and then there was a much shorter gap. If you look, I think between 9th and 14th, there was, I think it was like a 14-point gap across like the 6 teams that were there. But if you're looking at the other favorites there, Dragons at 6.5 to win. If you look at the handicap there, it's a 14.5 point spread. So, very much expecting Edinburgh to come out firing, and the bookies are, and if they can get themselves, 2 or 3 more tries ahead, then there could be value in the negative there. Let me know what you're betting on this weekend. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As I said, please do go and sign up. And this is the best step that I've gone with. I'm going with this. I'm including South Africa. I'm going South Africa at negative 10.5. Glasgow at 3.5. Leinster at negative 27.5. Munster at 6.5. The only big sort of call that I've really made is I'm going Lions at positive 8. I think that they will be able to make it a closer game than some people do believe. It's a 5-fold bet, which means that the 10% bonus there. The odds work out there for me at 20.87. So that's my little accumulator that I'm going tomorrow. Over the weekend, rather, it starts tonight. Let me know what you're betting on down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.